संस्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Thank you, Swapna, for the introduction, and it's so nice to see you all again during Durga Puja time. One joy is Navaratri already started. In the year there is Durga Puja, as we call in Bengal, Pujar Gandha eseche. We say that it's the flavor and fragrance of puja because of the advent of Mother. It's a Devi Paksha, and Navaratri, the holy days of Navaratri, and Durga Puja coming, joyful days very suitable for spiritual practice, remembering the Divine Mother, the Creator, the Nourisher of this whole universe, and Mother of all of us. So the topic that I chose today to speak to you is becoming a devotee. How we, being a devotee, how we become a devotee, how we remain a devotee, and what is the condition that makes us true devotee of God. What benefit we get by becoming a devotee, and what we need to do to become real devotee. Is becoming devotee easier spiritual path than any other? Sri Ramakrishna said, the goal of life is to realize God, to spiritually evolve, to attain the illumination. That is the goal of life, human life. And to attain that goal, there are many paths. One of them is bhakti, or love of God. And the path that is taken as love of God is called devotion, path of devotion. Sri Ramakrishna said, the path for this age, for most of the people, is the path of devotion, because it is practical and it is simple. Why simple? Because it is dependent on love. Every one of us is filled with love. Love is there in the heart of every being, what to say of human beings. It is not to be taught. You don't have to think something unreal, the world is unreal and God alone is real. Nothing like that. You don't have to think of the unreality of the world. Make the world real. This is real, we feel it is real. No other special thoughts of the intellect has to be done. We all have love. So that love that we have in our heart, it has to be directed to God. And when it is directed to God, then God realization is possible. Why God realization? Because without that, goal of life is not attained. The very purpose of life is failed. The very purpose that life can give us remains less than fructified. As Shankara said, Durlabham trayame vaita daivanugraha hetukam manusyattam mumukshuttam mahapurusha samsraya. Three great blessings that God have given us: Manushyatva, human body, human life, humanity, human qualities, and Mahapurusha Samsraya, association with holy, coming to temple, love of being associated with some great person, love for studying scriptures. So that is what the Mahapurusha Samsraya, all connected with the rishis, with the God, incarnation of God, with monks, with devotees, that all comes under Mahapurusha Samsraya. All are great and holy people. And third great quality, that because of the God's grace that we have attained, is mumukshutva. In that mumukshutva is to be desire to be free. Mukti ichha mumukshuta. When you have desire to be free, that is mukti. We are bound. Not only as jnana yoga we are bound to the world, when bhakti also we are bound, we are attached. We are bound with so many things in the world. We are not free. We want freedom. And that freedom can be attained for a devotee by being connected with God. When we are connected with God, we attain freedom from all other bondages. Our bondages, our attachment, bondages that create fear, the bondages that create anger. So all those are the creator of bondages. When we are closer to God, all those bondages are gone. We become free. That's why devotion takes us to God. God means freedom. To attain this spirituality, there are three things necessary. Of the three things, one is called tattva, the ultimate goal, tattva. And second for spirituality is called hita. Hita is the path to reach the goal. Hita is the why we should path to reach the goal, hita. And there is purushartha, how to reach the goal. Goal, for example, a goal according to jnana is satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Brahma is infinite knowledge and existence, infinite consciousness. That is Brahman. That is the tattva. Now, if you have only tattva, why would you like to go to tattva? Now comes hita. What is the need to go to tattva? Hita. And that hita is the path that takes us to tattva. Purushartha, the effect of reaching the goal, the benefit of reaching the goal. The student goes to the teacher and says, please Lord, teach me about Brahman. Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. He had heard satyam jnanam anantam brahma. That is the reality. That is infinite. That is freedom. Please teach me Brahman. That is, please let me realize Brahman. Let me understand what is Brahman. Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. Then teacher said, Brahman cannot be taught that way. You have to work out to reach Brahman. And teacher said, tapasa brahma vijignyasasva. Understand Brahman by tapas, austerity, concentration, focus, withdrawing the mind from all this diverted mind to all subject. Put in the thought of Brahman, inquiry into Brahman, athato brahma jigyasa. Now you have to focus your mind into the Brahman. That is the goal. So, that's how the Rishi said, do this. And then why to do this? The Purushartha. What is the artha of this practice? What is the goal, benefit I get? When I reach Brahman, then shokati go, then you remove. Then you are removed from all sufferings. That is what happens when you know Brahman. That the knower of Brahman is free from all sufferings in life. And that's why benefit of realizing Brahman is being free from all sufferings of life. What are the suffering of life? This fear, inconsistency, doubt, this anger, greed, all delusion, not knowing the truth, misunderstanding, all that makes suffering to us. So these three things will remove all our suffering and can make us free. Swami Vivekananda defined spirituality beautifully in Raja Yoga. Beginning, he said, each soul is potentially divine. And that becomes the tattva. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest that divinity within. That becomes Purushartha. You need to manifest that divinity. Each soul is divine. And the goal is to manifest that divinity within. And how to do that? That divinity manifestation not only within that soul is there. It has to be manifested outside. That knowledge of soul. The soul is the most potent and most closest being of ours. When the more we manifest the soul, the more better person we are. The soul clear, purifies the mind, it has to do everything good. That's what the soul is. So the goal is to manifest it within. Within, by controlling nature, external and internal. It becomes purushartha, it becomes hita. That how to control the nature. By controlling nature, that is the hita, that is the way you manifest the soul. So, how to control? Then he says, in the hita itself, next few lines, do it either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy. By one or more or all of these and be free. That is what the hita is. Hita is the way to reach that tattva. And what you gain by reaching tattva? That you become free from all suffering, all fear, all uncertainty, all doubts, and you enjoy the bliss of your true self. You enjoy not only the joy of life, you enjoy the bliss of true self. You attain contentment. There are two words. One is called satisfaction, another is called contentment. Satisfaction is temporary cessation of all desires, and you are satisfied. I am very happy. I am thirsty. I drink a glass of water. I am satisfied now. The thirst was troubling me. I am satisfied. But that satisfaction goes away. Again, you feel hungry. Perhaps you are hungry. And that is bothering still you. You are not contented. Now you need food to get hungry. Perhaps you are tired. You need to sleep to get satisfied from and get rid of your tiredness. But contentment is such a quality which doesn't need anything to satisfy you. You are always satisfied, always happy, always peaceful. Thirsty? Maybe. If you drink water, it finishes. But by very disposition, you are contented. You have all your desires have ceased. You are happy by itself. The contentment is what is called peace, eternal peace and joy, not dependent on objects of the world. That is what the contentment. Contentment is the spiritual evolution of our being. Then only we can become contented, otherwise not. So after saying about this tattva, hita and purushartha, then we go about the bhakti. According to Swamiji, the avidya that covers the ultimate reality can be removed only by sincerely and preferably following the culmination of the 4 yogas. All yogas ultimately lead to the same goal of spiritual realization. Do it either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these. These are all different paths. Those are all yogas. Work, karma yoga, worship, bhakti yoga, psychic control, dhyana yoga or raja yoga, and philosophy, jnana yoga. One of these yoga is powerful enough to take you to the goal. But you perform, and all 4 qualities are there in us. They are very much in us. So if we utilize all our faculties that are in you to pursue the knowledge of reality, knowledge of your true self, the knowledge of God, then it becomes easier for us to go. One path is one engine. So one can ride in that engine if a powerful engine is there. Sometimes engine is not that powerful. Then we have to add few more engines. And when all 4 engines are working in us, then reaching the goal becomes easier. So some people are very, they have bhakti, tremendous bhakti, and by that alone they can reach. But all may not have. If you have only bhakti faculty utilized to reach God, and you have subdued other dhyana and philosophical inquiry, and other things like karma, then other faculties remain dormant. Only one faculty is improved. You try to utilize more. By that, full personality is not developed. Full spiritual, all spiritual qualities that you have already got by the grace of God do not fully flourish in your life. That one-sided development is there. You will reach God. When you reach God, it is all, you realize then it is all that. But in the path, in the journey, in the process of hita, you are little one-sided. There is danger of becoming one-sided. And that's why Ramakrishna ideal is to utilize all the four faculties which will make our yogas perfect and make us reach the goal by igniting all four engines of spirituality, all four yogas working. That's why you perform karma yoga. We try to work selflessly for the good of others, for the joy of others. We try to meditate on our Ishta or meditate on the goal of object of meditation, that is dhyana yoga. We try to analyze this life is really transient, transitory. The real is God, and this life is ever changing. It will never remain such. Two things to remember, says Swami Tyagananda. Practice four things in life. Two things, actually practice two things. Something to remember, something to forget. So first forget. What you forget? Forget what bad others have done to you. Try to forget that. Simple, four simple spiritual exercises. Forget what others have done bad to you, what you thought is bad. Why forget? Something do so many wrong things. How can we forget? Forget by knowing that everything that we get in the world is by our karma phala. Something comes and gives me some scolding, some bad, some insult. Don't get angry on that person. Rather, thank that person for insulting me, because he was kind enough to bring the insult to you that you had earned. He just was the carrier, like a mailman bringing you some bills. You don't curse the mailman for bringing inflated bill of your electricity. You yourself had increased your burning of electricity, and that's why it is increased. You don't curse that. That man who brought some insult was your own earned insult. So thank that person. Thank you for insulting me. Thank you for complaining against me to my boss. You should mentally thank him. Don't thank that way. They will say you are mad. So thank him mentally. So, and don't get angry on that person. This is how the thing done. After all, things are done in this world by the will of God. God willed. And God is so kind to us that whatever He does for us in this world is for our good. There is something good is there. We were talking in the morning about the beautiful verse from Chandi, that which says, Rogan seshan apahang situshta rushta tu kaman sakalan abhishtan tvama shritanam navipan naranam tvama shritahya shrayatam prayanti. Mother, when you are happy, you can give everything. You can remove all our bipad. Rogan asesan apahanti. You remove all rogas, all diseases that we have when you are pleased with us, tusta. And when you are displeased, rusta tu kaman sakalan abhistan apahanti. If we are displeased, then you remove all our desires and all we wish in goal in our life. Abhistan. Whatever we wish, you remove that. Also, if you are not pleased. Now, Divine Mother, our real mother, we have seen our mother. Sometimes you feel, oh, mother was angry. Some people have little relationship with mother, little strained, but that is not the one way or misunderstanding. It is said, Shankaracharya always said, that kuputro jayeta kvachidapi kumata nabhavati. That mother cannot be bad. She would never wish anything bad for the child. If we had something wrong notion about the mother, we have to go deep. Why mother didn't give me that? I ate a lot of chocolate as a child. Then mother said, no more chocolate. Too much of sugar went into you. I become angry. My mother doesn't love me. She forbade me to eat chocolate. Was it not love to forbidding that what I wanted? That was love. Everything mother does out of love. So is the Jagan Mata. So is our divine mother who brought us in this world. So how can she be rushta? How can she be displeased? And she takes away all that I want. Kama and Abhishta, two words are there. Kama is that what I want immediately, some desires. So if she is displeased, she removes those desires. She doesn't let that desire fulfill. And Abhishta, that's what will happen in future. Some long-term goal, some short-term goal. Short-term desires are Kama, long-term desires are Abhishta. So when mother is displeased, she removes that. That is said in the Chandi. But how can mother be rusta? How can we see displeased? She is never displeased. When she takes away the thing that I want, I do not get what I prayed for, I do not get what I expected. I thought mother is not happy with me, she is displeased with me. This is my thought. But in reality, mother is tushta, she is always pleased with me, and by her kindness she removed those desires that I had wished. Because of kindness. She didn't let it happen to me, let that come to me. Because those are not good for me. I do not know what is good for me in reality. Mother knows much better what is finally good for me. That's why she didn't give. So rusta tu kaman sakan abhistan apahanti. That is not rusta, that is tusta. Mother is always tusta with us, always pleased with us. God cannot be displeased with us. So, something insulted. So don't forget that. Second thing to forget is what you have done good to others. You might have said some good, you might have helped some person sometimes. The person who is helped forgets, but we always remember even small things. They can give you $1,000, somebody needed, and you gave like 20 years ago. It was done, so many thousands of dollars came in your life and went, in that person's life also went. You remember, oh, that time he was in difficulty and I gave him $1,000. Now he doesn't say even hello to me, he has all forgotten. What to remember for $1,000? It's not a big help, but you still remember. So, Tyaganandi says, forget that what good you have done to others. That is a bondage. To do something good and ask for some gratitude, some thanks, some remembrance, always some obligation. That is bondage you are creating for yourself. Neki kar kuएं mein dal. Do good, and whatever good happens, good merit, good thought, throw that in a well. That's called neki kar kuएं mein dal in Hindi. Don't remember doing good. Forget what good you have done to others. And by the logic of karma yoga, karma phala, he got some help from you because of his karma. You were just an instrument. Why you glorify yourself that you have done this? Something you could do, thank God for that. That God utilized your help to fulfill his karma, to do something good to him. Two things to forget. And he says, two things you remember. Remember, this world is ever changing. Nothing will remain so same. Everything is changing. That is so clear. When you grow old, you know that, how the things change. We are living, sitting, talking, listening. After a few years, we cannot come to the temple. We will not be able to come. We'll be somewhere in nursing home. We'll be somewhere having the medicine, some pipes here, and time coming, doctor will say, oh, now, no problem, no, nothing much left, time has come. That will happen to all of us. We should be prepared for that. Life is temporary. Body will die. And to hide that, not to think of that, it'd be wrong. So remember, this world is ever changing. Ever changing. That is the law of the creation, law of the world. And remember one more thing. God, there is one thing that doesn't change ever, and that is God. That is your own soul. That is your own being. That is yourself, or Atman. You, yourself, your true self never changes. It doesn't die, it doesn't become sick, it was never born, it is ever there. Body comes and goes. And one body, by mistake, identify your own body. This comes, you feel that I am this body, I am dying. Body dead, you are still there. Another body comes, again you identify that, oh, now new body, new class, going, school, college, university, this, that, job, again this thing coming. You are untouched, but you somehow identify with that body as yourself, and that body becomes old, that body becomes sick, and now again dying. You don't say again, now dying, because you do not remember what happened in the past life. So that is the great magic that Mother gives. She makes us forget all our past life. And then we think this is the life we got, and dying, after that everything will be gone. Nothing goes. We are like the sky, like the space, where all the planets are there. Sun, moon, solar system. And after a long time, our solar system will collapse, sun will die. Moon, earth, all will go. But what that to space? Space ever remains. And there will be another creation, another nebula, another stars coming, and the planets will come. But the space is there. So in the space of our soul, or Atman, that vast, that immortal, that permanent, that infinite is our true nature. In that all this creation happens, and it comes and goes, vanishes. Remember that. That space doesn't change. Akasha, Kha, Atman, Brahman doesn't change, and you are that Brahman. Tattvamasi Shweta Ketu, you are that Brahman. Try to understand that. Two things to remember, two things to forget. So this is also a spiritual practice, remembering what is eternal, identifying with that eternity, that true nature, and just accept the things that change. Now there will be pain. As you grow old, there is pain. We asked one Swami, he was, actually Swahanandaji. Swahanandaji had gone to Toronto, and somebody asked, Maharaj Swamiji, how are you? He said, don't ask us question. When of my age, he was 85 or something. So he said, every movement is painful. This is what the old age is. And so much accepting the things of the changing body. Dehadi bhavam parivartayanta swatmanam atman yavalokayanta. It's a song of Sannyasin by Kaupina Panchakam by Shankaracharya. He says, Yati, he will always see that body is changing, but he's always happy and joyful in the Atman. Atman is unchanging, body is changing. So he sees and experiences the changes in the body, but knowing that body is he not. He is that unchanging Atman. Body is something that is somehow associated with himself by the power of Maya, power of great magic of this world. So, to realize that I am that space, I am not the planet. That is the planet that is created and will be destroyed. I am that space in which all this creation, destruction, everything happens. So to identify with that creation and that space, that is God, and that is our true self. The God that we love and we worship, who is that? That is our own true self, our Atman. We project outside, and whatever quality that is there in our soul, we project in God. Unattached, all-powerful, ever blissful, That God, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, that God we worship and we pray for His grace. Whom we are praying? We are praying to our own true self. The true self manifested outside as a being, as an objectified self, is God. All purity, all infinity. So that is God. Coming closer, this bhakti yoga, what it does, it takes this confused mind, this ignorant mind, this mind, brings closer to our reality. That is God. And we will see how our Madhusudana Saraswati says what evolution of bhakti happens. We'll see later on. So the path of bhakti, the goal of life is to realize God, Sri Ramakrishna said. To love God and love for God. Bhakti is the one essential thing, Sri Ramakrishna said. Bhakti is the one essential thing. And the path of bhakti has been rightly eulogized as the most practical and effective in the present times. Devotion to God as a path to experience our divine nature finds its places in the Upanishads itself. The Shvetasvatara Upanishad refers to this and it speaks of the importance of self-surrender. We often think that Upanishad is all about Jnanam, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, and like that thing is only in the Upanishad. There is material of bhakti. There is the scope for worshipping God, coming closer to God, loving God. All is there contained in the Upanishads. These are all part of our Vedas. Vedas are such a vast resource of knowledge. In Shvetaswara Upanishad, it is said, Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hyartha prakashante mahatmana. He who has supreme devotion towards God and towards the teacher, to him verily all these things declared will reveal themselves. By mere bhakti, the things needed to manifest spirituality will come. And bhakti, what type of bhakti? Bhakti to God and bhakti to teacher, to guru. Same respect and even more respect for the guru. Kabir Das said, Guru Govinda dono khade kake lagu paye. Suddenly he was worshipping and suddenly God manifested and Guru manifested. Now both he reveres and loves. From both he has got knowledge. Whom to show my first respect? Kake lagu paye, prathame, first. Balihari Guru Apano Govinda Dio Batai. Govinda is the goal, God is the goal, but for whom, through whom I went there? It is Guru. Without Guru, I could not have gone to God. Balihari Guru Apano. So Guru is the first respect of mine. Through whom I have reached God. God is goal. But I cannot forget the one who helped me so much to reach Guru, to God. By his grace alone, by his teaching alone, I have reached God. So, Balihari Guru Apano. More respect to Guru, because he is the one who has shown me the light. Otherwise, I was in dark. So, what does bhakti do? Bhakti is a wonderful thing. If you develop bhakti, bhakti has to be developed. We have love, but that love is, one is it is fragmented and spread out to many directions. Another is it is not intensified. So if we could make it together, focus it, and make it diverted towards God, all love that we have given by God in our heart, and little intensified, energize that love, and direct towards God, then it will produce love, true devotion in us. And that can be done and that has to be done. And often we think that if we love God, then what will happen to my duties, responsibilities, my relations? Should I all forget my son, my grandchild, so nice, so sweet? And you say, love God, and all focus of your love put to God. What about my little trickle of love going towards my grandchild? She's so beautiful, so loving. When she says, my name, grandpa, I just melt down with her sweet voice and feeling. And you ask not to care of that and to direct all love towards God. How is that possible? In this process, we forget that God is the source of all that love we find. If God is pleased, if God is taken care of, we find double the joy in this grandpa voice of our granddaughter. God is such a being with the unity of all souls. There, it is all children, grandchildren, friends, all are united in God. When we love God, we love all. When we love God more intensely, we love all more intensely. It is not you love God and you forget everything. Our love for others becomes true love when we really love God. Often our love to the world has some desire, something seeking in return. Oh, I love my child because when I grow old, they will look after me. They will earn money and put me in a big nursing home where like $6,000, $8,000 per month I take. He will earn more money. He will become. I want to make him a doctor. So this is a very selfish way of trying to make a son a doctor, so that I will grow old, and then he will earn a lot of money and put me in a great, nice, luxurious nursing home, and will have nice time. Such types of wishes are not fulfilled if it is so selfish. It is like the business. Are you investing on a son? So that is not love. Love is without any expectation. Just you want the good of your son. My son will be a doctor. Better, my son will be a doctor. He will serve the patients. He will serve many people who are sick and find their pain will be removed. Their difficulties will be removed. He will do so great to the world. He will love God and he will love fellow human beings. That my son will become by becoming a good doctor, a good person, not only good doctor, not greedy doctor, but good doctor, good person, one who loves human beings. That I want my son to be, my daughter to be, without anything or expectation. When you don't expect anything from your son or daughter or grandson or friends, then you are not thrown away. It automatically comes. There is one God there. He looks after and He takes care of you didn't think anything about yourself. You find some unknown person taking your care. Unknown person. There used to be Swami Atmananda, disciple of Swami Vivekananda. One Atmanandaji later on was the head of Raipur Center, who passed away. Perhaps you remember, you know him. Our Raipur Center was formed by one Atmanandaji. He was not the person I'm referring to. I'm referring to Swami Atmananda, disciple of Swami Vivekananda, sannyasi disciple of Swami Vivekananda. So he worked, wonderful work he did. He was in Dhaka and other places. And then finally he became old and sick and was in Varanasi Sevasram. He was very well built, very strong in his youthful days. When he was lying down on the bed, two brahmacharis were there serving him, deputed by the order. And one time he was so sick he couldn't even turn himself. So brahmacharis had to turn, bed sore and all that to remove that. And they had to put medicine. And suddenly in one of the brahmacharis' brain, mind idea came. This Swami used to be so strong, so independent, so self-reliant. Now you see how the things have changed. Now he's totally dependent on us. He cannot take even medicine, no food. Even turn, he cannot himself on the bed. We have to turn. He's totally dependent on us, the brahmacharis, on our care. As soon as this thought came to brahmacharis, so Atmanandaji says, what? You think I am dependent on you for me? This moment you take my bed and put on the crossroad outside the ashram, Varanasi Sevasram, if you have gone, you have seen there, so crowded place. You put me on the roadside. My Guru will come and take care. You don't take care of me. My Guru Swami Vivekananda will come and take my care. That much faith in the Guru, that much faith in Divine Mother, that much faith in God, that God is there to take care. He had no doubt about that. What is being done by God Himself, by Swami Vivekananda Himself. Our Mother is ever present. When we do things unselfishly, then God looks after us. Definitely it has been the case. There is no doubt. And when we become so unselfish, so goodwill for others, doing everything for the sake of joy of others, then the thing that contentment comes to our heart. We do not have any selfish wish. We attain that contentment. And what is, when to a contented person, what is there that person can wish to find joy? That person is always bubbling with happiness, remaining in peace, and that attained by the process of contentment, by devotion to God. So bhakti removes all our anxieties and tensions that we accept in life. If we have true devotion to God, you become so sure that God will be there. God is taking care of me. Why do I need to worry? And in fact, that is truth. God takes care. All that we have attained, say I was intelligent, I studied hard, I got an engineer, I became a doctor, I came to the United States, I got a job, I applied. All that we think we did, I did. Nothing I did. It was all inspired by God. God gave a good brain. God you give you birth in a good family. You got good samskaras from your parents, all arranged by God. God made you feel like coming to the United States. You got all the things happen and you came to the United States. You got the job by the will of God. You got money by the will of God. Everything happened by the will of God. By mistake, we think I did. You know the story of dog and bullock cart? That Vedantic story? In summertime, bullock cart was taking rest. Bulls were removed and cart was lying. It was very hot summer in India. And one stray dog came, and there was no even shade that time, just mid-sun. They found shade under the bullock cart and sat there. And cool breeze and shade, and he fell asleep. Afternoon happened, sun was setting towards west, and that bullock cart driver, he yoked the bullock on that, and it started moving. Bullock started moving. Suddenly dog felt a little warm. Then he saw bullock cart is going away, going in front of it. He immediately went under it. Now bullock cart is moving, dog also started moving under the bullock cart, in the shade of bullock cart. After wherever bullock cart goes, and after some time, driver wants to drink some water, he stops bullock cart. And then again, dog is staying there. He also stopped. After the bullock cart again starts moving, he also walks under that. After some time, dog started feeling, oh, I am pulling this bullock cart. Whenever I stop, bullock cart stops. Whenever I walk, this cart walks. So I am in fact pulling this bullock cart. That type of ignorance happens. He was doing nothing, he was just walking with the cart. This type of ignorance comes to us when we say, I do, it's all that. He is the doer. Sri Ramakrishna said, Naham, tuhu. Not I, but Lord, you do everything. You are the one who has made everything possible. This type of surrender knowledge comes. Where is anxiety? Where is fear? He is there to look after. Why should I worry? Whatever is good for me, all will be done by God. Once one person went to Belur Math, and he had either Diksha or he had Sannyasa. He came to Hollywood Center, Prabhupanandaji's time. So Prabhupanandaji said to that person, now since you have connected yourself to Sri Ramakrishna, nothing bad will happen to you. Nothing bad will happen to you. It may look bad. You may feel it is bad, but ultimately it is not bad to you at all. So be sure that everything is going to be good for you. Don't go on how it seems, how it feels, but everything that comes to you now is good for you because you have connected with the source of goodness, and He is there to take your care. So all anxieties and worries and tensions are gone. If we have true bhakti and real attachment to God and faith in God's doing for us, God's love for us. Rishi Aurobindo used to say, God loves you so much. Even you do not love you so much. Everybody loves himself or herself. That is very nature. In fact, Upanishad says, you love yourself, then you love world. Nava are pati kamaya pati priyo bhavati. Nava are patyu kamaya pati priyo bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya pati priyo bhavati. You love your husband. Wife loves husband not for the sake of husband, for her own self sake. She loves her husband. Not from selfish point. We love everything connected to us. Our true love is our own self, Atman. That is the only lovable thing, and that Atman is God. That is the only lovable thing. Wherever you find connection with that Atman, with yourself, that thing you love. My car, my wife, my children, my grandchildren, my house, everything mine. Then the love comes little. But what is the focus of love? Myself. And what is that self? This body by mistake, by knowledge, true self. And what is that? I love myself. And when we really reach self, there is no me and you. All is one. There is no you at all. Then we realize it is one self that appeared as so many. And I was hating with that person. I was criticizing that person. It is all my own self in different ways we are treating and playing sports in this world. Some playing like good, some playing like bad. None else exists. I alone is the existence. That Brahman alone is the existence. So all worries and anxieties will be removed if we love God. What will bhakti do? Gives us strength of mind. If we have devotion and reliance on God, then we say, what like Atmanandaji, what do you think? You will just not take care and I will not be taken care of. My Guru is there. That strength is given. Swami Vivekananda says, Kimbhona vijanasi asman Ramakrishna dasavayam kurmastaraga sarvanam tribhuvanam utpatayamo balat. By force we can unhinge the universe. We can pulverize the stars. Don't you know who we are? We are Ramakrishna Dasa. We are the servants of Sri Ramakrishna. That strength comes when we have true devotion to God. We are not alone. We are connected to very powerful source. Fear goes away. So that is what bhakti can do. Bhakti makes us fearless. Fear of death. That is the greatest fear that we have. Fear of old age, disease, all are there. Fear of uncertainty is there. But fear of death is the greatest fear that we have. Even that fear will go if we have true bhakti. How that fear will go? Because after death, as one is the jnana, I am not dying. What is dying? This body. I am like this space everywhere present. I am not this limited body. I am infinite space. One is jnana. Another bhakti. How does it take away our fear? Bhakti takes away fear because after death something remains, and that is God. We are not alone. When we come out of this body, give up this body, it's not coming out. We give up this body, this cage of bone and flesh has been used a lot. 80 years, 90 years we used it. It has become old. It is time to refresh, get something new. Car has become old, cloth has become old. And then you discard. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. Navani grihnati naroparani. You get the new cloth, new body. And who is there? Who will give? God is there. Always supply. Ready, without buying, without any, nothing to buy. Oh, it's so costly. Tesla's price have increased now to $42,000. Lesser version is not available now. So no worry about that. You give up this old body, new body is presented without any worries and anxieties. That is the strength of a devotee. Why to worry for the death? It is removing, giving up the old thing and getting new thing. Where will I go? This is said in the Shastra. Swami also comes and told, what is the proof? I don't know. So wonderful life it was. I had so many children, grandchildren, so many friends. All will be gone. I will miss so much. How can I just die like that? And they will be crying and I will also not see them. How will it happen? So that has always been there in our every life, every human life. Previous life, we know nothing. We had friends, we had children, grandchildren, everything was there. Once we got out of that connection, we totally forgot that. We have no connection with that world. Everything again is given new. New children, new parents, new, everything is new again. So like that, it will happen. So why to worry about that? That's why you become fearless of even death or any other thing. Now this fear of this old age, pain, etc., we should not be afraid of that. This pain, etc., is a part of life. If we want to live long, 90 years, 100 years, we have a wish to 100 years. What a glorious century being celebrated. But how much pain one has to suffer. Just see from this, after 80 years to 100 years, it is great pain, that person. Children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren are very happy. My great-grandpa is 100 years, great celebration, invited friends and great galas, pomp, music, everything. But how much that person had to suffer from like last 20 years of pain and this thing. So, but that is inevitable. If you want to live long, those will come. Ear will not be working, eyes will be not effective, and there will be bodily problems, diseases will be there, and the mobility will be less. Knee pain and waist pain, this vertigo, all these things are inevitable when we live longer. But that is the part of this body. So accept that. Don't complain about that. In our prayer before food, in Toronto, we say, as Sarva Gatananji has created the prayer from Holy Mother's blessing, last message. May we not accuse, demand, or complain. May we not complain for anything. There was one very nice, social media thing. The husband and wife had a very peaceful family. So whenever wife became angry and was saying something, it didn't happen, and a lot of complaint to be done, husband used to put this thing in a tape in his mouth, and he was not to speak. And the thing done after that something husband did wrong, then wife wife did something that didn't suit to husband, then husband was complaining, then wife put the tape. There was no quarrel among them at all. So like that, no complaint, then it is a very peaceful thing. Why to complain? That doesn't solve the problems. Oh, so much, like Swahananji, don't ask how I am. There is pain when you are old. So like that, accept the changes. So like that happens. Inspires us to serve all unselfishly. That's all the power of bhakti can do. And what else the bhakti does? Transforms our life. Our life, our thought process, our very, that is changed by this bhakti. Very intention of life, the way we think is all changed by the process of bhakti. Once Balaram Basu, Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, a great devotee of Sri Krishna, great Vaishnava, he said to Swami Vivekananda, Noren, we had such a great company of incarnation of God. Himself, with Thakur we lived. But what happened? I feel I'm the same thing. The devotion has not become so enormous, like Chaitanya Deva was shedding tears of joy, and his hairs standing on end, and voice becoming choked, repeating God's name, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sings. When will that happen? Sunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name. Nothing like that happened. I think I could not progress spiritually, Noren. I feel that way. Even after so much of opportunity was given to me, didn't I utilize the life truly? Noren, Swami Vivekananda said, what are you saying? Chilen Guru, hoyechen Manus, hoben Devota. You were a cow, you were an animal. Now you have become human being, you will attain to Godhead. You will become God. So much of progress have happened. You were selfish, you were thinking of only yourself, like an animal thinks of only how to eat, no other thing, how to eat myself. Vechan Manu, now you think about others like human being. You share, you care for others. You have become human being. Now you're becoming God. You are on the process of that. so much of evolution has already happened and is taking place. Like God, you will love all equally without distinction. Transformation will happen by the touch of Sri Ramakrishna came, he touched you, he saw you, you accompanied him, and you think no progress happened. That is impossible. Bhakti has that power to transform us. Fills us with sweetness of contentment and ever abiding peace. That is the power of bhakti. That is what is purushartha. That's what the benefit we get. Swami Vivekananda defines bhakti by quoting Prahlada's famous prayer. That deathless love which the ignorant have for the fleeting objects of the senses, as I keep meditating on you, may not that love slip from my heart. When Nrsimha told Prahlada, I am very pleased with your devotion. Ask for something. Then Prahlada said, Lord, I have got your love. You have come to me. What should I ask? There is nothing desire left in me. Ask something. Then Prahlada said to Nrsimha, that people have so much of love for the objects, especially the misers. They are so much attached to their wealth, to their possession. So can you give me that type of attachment for your lotus feet? May I have the same attraction for you what the miserly people have for their possession and for their money. Same attraction, same attachment. Just direction change. I want that for your lotus feet. That's what Swamiji said. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, a devotee asked Sri Ramakrishna, how can I develop love for God? Sri Ramakrishna replied, repeat his name and sins will disappear. Thus you will destroy lust, anger, the desire for creature comforts and so on. Emphasizing the point further, he says, a poet has compared devotion to a tiger. As the tiger devours animals, devotion also swallows up all the arch enemies of man, such as lust, passion, and the rest. Once the devotion to God is fully awakened, all evil passions like lust and anger are completely destroyed. In the Gita, Sri Krishna says, Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhava mahasano mahapapma viddhenam iha vairinam. Your foe is not this Kaurava, Arjuna. Kaurava is temporary foe in the enemy in the battle of Kurukshetra. But your true foe is inside you. Kama and Krodha. They are your eternal foe. Nityavairi. And how to conquer those four enemies that are sitting inside us? Outside you can kill. Inside us, when they come out, we don't know. That's what the anger is. When it comes up, we don't know. We thought we are very peaceful, we will not become angry. Suddenly it bubbles up. With our known people mostly, and unknown people also sometimes, if we are not very delicate. Something happens, something we feel that you are missing, something we expected, it doesn't happen. We feel that that person will treat you nicely, it didn't treat you nicely. Something happens in the road race, some person came and started yelling at you. You don't expect him to yell or her to yell to you like that. You thought it was against the decency. You burst out in anger. Forget that people are of different kinds. There are not all are decent people. He may become a road race. That doesn't should make you angry. Controlling anger is divine. That is the control, that is the strength a devotee should have. Why should I become angry? Sometimes Sri Ramakrishna said, show anger. Just make a show of anger, but never get angry. Never put poison, just hiss. The brahmachari said to the snake. Like that, if needed, you may show a little anger, but you are fully controlled and peaceful. If you are really angry after some interaction with something on the road, then when you are driving, you will be distracted. You cannot drive nicely. There is a chance of accident happening. If we have just shown the anger, you are same peaceful person. Nothing changes in you. So, not getting angry is great. And that doesn't change the thing of the person. A devotee asks, we have passions like anger and lust. What shall we do with these? Sri Ramakrishna answers. This is very, very important because this evil, this enemy, kama, krodha, etc. are there. Direct the six passions to God. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. These are the six enemies. That is very basic to human beings. And what to do with these? Very difficult to conquer and remove them. Think that nothing is there, but sometimes they come up. Sometimes they show up. We feel we have no control. How to eradicate them, how to control them, how not to let them come at the surface, how to make them subdued all the time or totally annihilate and remove them. The person asked to Sri Ramakrishna, very fundamental person for our increase of bhakti, becoming a true bhakta. Sri Ramakrishna answered, direct the six passions to God. The impulse of lust should be turned into desire to get to know the Atman. Lust, strong desire for something to enjoy. Try to enjoy your own self, try to know your own self. That should be that. Feel angry at those who stand in our way to God. Angry in the sense, not blasting out, but do not let them stand. Have some great resolve that those who are impediment on a path to devotion, they do not remain impediment. Be greedy for him. If you want something in life, I want that jacket, I want that shoe. Beautiful shoe has come in the market. I saw during the window shopping. That shoe I like. I am greedy to have that shoe. Don't be greedy for that shoe. Be greedy to realize God. I want to love God. Be greedy for that. Say, for instance, my Rama, my Krishna. If we must have pride, then feel like Vibhishana, who said, I have touched the feet of Rama with my head. I will not bow this head before anyone else. So be proud of being connected with God, that type of connection. Is Bhakti Yoga really easy? Of the four yogas, it is generally stated Bhakti Yoga is the easiest and the most natural. That is what Sri Ramakrishna said. In the present Iron Age, Kali Yuga, the path of Bhakti as preached by Narada is the best and the most suited. But then is Bhakti really so easy? The fact is that no yoga is easy. All yogas are difficult. They are challenging and require much hard work and sacrifice. Nothing great can be achieved easily. The so-called easiness of the Bhakti Yoga only stems from the fact that it deals with emotions, and most of us are more emotional than iron-willed or calm in mind or sharp enough in our thinking. And that is why Bhakti is somewhat easier, because we are emotional by nature. We can develop that emotion and direct it towards God. And we can utilize that for the search of God, for love of God. 5 commandments of Sri Ramakrishna for becoming a true devotee. One of the instructions given by Sri Ramakrishna for developing devotion of love for God is that an aspiring devotee must assume a definite attitude towards God. Sri Ramakrishna says, a devotee must assume toward God a particular attitude. One must think of God as one's father or mother or child and so forth. We all have experienced love for all these earthly relations, and now the same love is to be directed towards God. The scriptures also say, you are my father, you are my mother. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhus cha sakha tvameva. God has to be, the worldly relation that we have has to be assumed with father. God to be seen as father, as mother, as friend. So Sri Ramakrishna said, what are the commandments to develop bhakti? He said, repeat God's name and sing His glories. That is one thing. Do japam. Om Rama, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Vasudevaya, Jai Ma Durga, any name, repeat the name. Or best is what you have got from your Guru, during initiation. Repeat the name and sing his glories. Second commandment, keep holy company and now and then visit God's devotees and holy men. Third, it is most necessary to go into solitude now and then and think of God. To fix the mind on God is very difficult in the beginning. This going to solitude that Sri Ramakrishna recommended is not possible for us. But what he always said, mone, bone, kone. If you cannot go to the forest, to the solitude, you can go to the corner of your house, to the shrine, and remain there alone or only with God, forgetting all your duties, responsibilities, children, grandchildren, must be connected to God. That is what the solitude is for the present time. And that is very important. Fourth, he said, and you should always discriminate between real and unreal. This world is unreal. God is real. Atman is real. My true self is real. Body is unreal. Always discriminate. Fourth commandment of Sri Ramakrishna. Fifth, do all your duties but keep your mind on God. Live with all, with wife and children, father and mother, and serve them. Treat them as if they were very dear to you, but know in your heart of hearts that they do not belong to you. They do not belong to us as my father, my children, my grandchildren, but they belong to us as the manifestation of my Ishta, my God appearing as father, my God appearing as my grandson, my God appearing as my daughter. It's all Sri Ramakrishna or my Ishta appearing in this form. So I should respect, love, worship, admire my children as the manifestation of God. Immediately we become bhakta, our attitude towards our relations become unexpected and more of reverence towards them as we have towards Guru. Growing in bhakti. How do you know we are progressing in spiritual life and becoming real devotees? Madhusudana Saraswati, the great saint composer of 16th century India, in his commentary on his last verse of the Gita, it's verse 66 of the 18th chapter, of the Gita above called Charama Sloka, the Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sararam Bhaja, describes 3 stages of the bhakti evolution. He says, in the first stage, a devotee is firmly convinced, I belong to God. That is, I belong to God. God is there for me. God is taking care, He's seeing, He's looking after. I belong to God. Advance. In the second stage, he strongly feels God belongs to me. Now, no separation. God is always there with me. Not that I have to depend on God. My connection with God has become so strong that I always feel His presence within me, with me, and I feel God belongs to me. God cannot remain without me. The devotee feels. Sri Ramakrishna said, in the beginning, bhakta is like a calf and runs after the cow, mother. Later on, God becomes like a calf and bhakta becomes like mother, cow. And God runs after the devotee. He loves the devotion of devotee. God's best thing is the devotion of his devotee. He cannot remain without that. If there is God, there has to be creation, there has to be devotee. God without devotee cannot be God. And when there is God, there is devotion in this and the devotee. When the devotee's heart is filled with God, now we heard that they say that money attracts money. Money attracts money. So somebody heard this. Takai takatane in Bengali we say. And took one coin, 1 rupee coin he had, and went to there, he found a heap of coin was there. He wanted to attract money, showing that money, he thought that heap will come. So in the process, he was putting that near, and money was not coming. In the process, that money in his hand also slipped, and it ran towards the heap of money. Now he complained, you said money brings money. Where did my money bring? Rather, my money went to that heap of coins. The people said, the adage is correct. Money brings money. When there is more money, it is more powerful. That it attracted your money. Takai takatane. Like that is bhakti. When your heart has become full of devotion, then God runs after you. He cannot remain without the devotion of God. Then God belongs to me. I belong to God. Matured, devotion matured. Now God belongs to me. And what is the final one? In the last stage, the devotee knows, I am one with God. Now God and him have become one. That is, God alone exists and I or the ego has no existence apart from God. प्रेम की गली अति साकरो इसमें दो न समाए. This path of love is very narrow. Only one can pass through it. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं. When I was there, I was working, I was worshipping, I was thinking of God, and God was not there really. Because it is so narrow, only one can go, not two persons cannot go. I and God cannot go there. When I was there, God was. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं. जब हरि है तब मैं नहीं. Now I find that God is there, then I don't find myself. What happened to me? I merged with God. Final, ultimate stage of bhakti. God and devotee become one. All our ego vanished. All now feel God fills our heart and mind, and God starts acting through us, and all our life becomes blissful and beneficial to the world. True devotee, the person, ছিলেন গরু হয়েছেন মানুষ হবেন দেবতা, you were cow, have become human beings, now will become God. That person has turned into God, because whatever it does in a divine spirit, without anything in its turn, without any complaint, without accusing anyone. He has attained the acme or the ultimate of devotion. That is our goal of devotion. And that we are progressing, as Swamiji said to Balaram Bosu. Swamiji is saying to us, you were animals, you are all self-centered. You have come to Sri Ramakrishna, you bow down to Thakur Ma and Swamiji. With that bowing down, you think it happens just useless? You go the same man. When you enter here, every day when you come and enter, something good goes into you. You are changing, transforming slowly but surely, and slowly human beings and slowly divine. I belong to God, God belongs to me. I and God are same, are one. Now only one exists, and that divine God that manifests through me in my attitude, thoughts, actions, speech, all is so sweet. Then that person says, one who has found God in his heart and filled himself with the love of God, says, Madhuvata ritayate, madhuk sharanti sindava, madhvirna santo sadihi. Everything is filled with that sweetness. This air is filled with sweetness. Everything to that devotee seems sweetness, seems to be God. Nothing else exists other than God. God manifesting at this world, at this planet, at this earth, human beings, animals, everything is divine, pulsating, all joyful, all friendly, all source of joy to that person. And very air is sweet, and the sunlight is sweet, day is sweet, night is sweet, rivers are sweet. Very dust of the earth is sweet. Everything is sweet and joyful to that person. For that person, vision has changed. Now the world that is saw like and divided into like and dislike, all division obliterated. And that whole world is, there is nothing that the person dislikes, nothing that person abhors and hates. All is love for that person, because the world has transformed and deified, and God manifests to that person. And as Swami Vivekananda says, from my childhood I have seen nothing but God, whom ignorant call as human being. Human beings are all divine. Everything is divine, and that manifestation will come when our devotion will mature. And that devotion will mature once we have come to Thakur Ma and Swamiji. That maturity of devotion is sure to come. Let us hold on to them, pray to them, sing their glory, repeat their name. All purity will be filled, all devotion will be filled, and our life will be transformed, and our life, human life, will become successful. The goal will be attained, and the goal is realization of God. Thank you very much.